I was about to do a video on the entertainment provided to us by Tariq Nasheed firing Sarah. I had the unfortunate displeasure of stumbling across a BGS IBMOR video that was in direct response to the black diaspora reposting of my video. Big Booty Brenda and the Educated Lames will die together. Now, this guy, BGS IBMOR, is a complete and total fraud. He is no master teacher. He is a fraud. Misrepresenting everything that I said in that video, throwing up needless, stupid insults, the 4-year-old and whatnot, while addressing absolutely nothing that I had to say in the video. BGS IBMOR, you're not the only person in the world who's read Kurzweil and, what's his name? Gladwell. All of that crap that you talk about, automation, the singularity, AI, loss of jobs, the United States not growing, I've already factored this in, and I'm already investing in it. Do you even own Bitcoin? This guy put up a video on his channel that said that he was going to re-expand the content because he finally saw it within himself, that he was going to say that I don't care about the dummies. I'm going to go back to talking about politics and economics. And then the first video that he puts up isn't his explanation of Bitcoin, but some white guy's explanation of Bitcoin. You see, it's a person like this. A person who hides behind books while never actually dipping his toe in the water. That keeps you from understanding the nuances that can only come with experience. You see, when you got a fraud who just reads a bunch of books, but doesn't even actually own any Bitcoin, what you're gonna get is a person who theorizes about all this crap that sounds real good on paper. And it sounds like if you put it into practice, you'd be able to get somewhere. People like BGS IBMOR, they theorize about Bitcoin, they don't have any. They also theorize about women and can't do anything with them. That last hangout that BGS IBMOR had with all those other people that I don't know, I think it was on Solo TV's channel. You know what? I do know how I ran across it, because Solo TV, I don't know why, subscribes to my channel. And so I went over to his channel because I'd seen some of his stuff too. And so I went over to his channel just to be like, why did this guy subscribe to me? We are not, you know, if he's over in the manosphere, that's not where I am. Is there some commonality that we have that would warrant him subscribing to my channel? And the first video that I came across was the hangout with that awful performance by BGS IBMOR, in which he was just talking over this black feminist while not employing any of this years and decades of theory into the conversation to create a more amicable platform for discussion. You see, according to him, it shouldn't matter if a woman is mad or upset. He ought to be able to apply the theory to make her more docile so that he could get his point across. And eventually, since men are so much better than all women, if you have a guy who doesn't even understand his own theory, then you personally are not better than any woman. And you showed that in the discussion. If men are supposed to be the leaders and whatnot, then she should have eventually fallen in line because you just had so much more logic than her. But all I heard was, can I ask a question? 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 I think you got that from your 4-year-old. And I wonder, why would you make an exception to beef with me when Sergeant Willie P's been on the internet for so much longer? And it's a reason. He's gonna say it's because I'm the dumbest of the people who have my opinion, which is really no one. I'm the only one that makes any goddamn sense on YouTube. But the reason that he's making an exception is because he knows that I'm the smartest. I'm the one who's able to best articulate the holes that all of these people have in their theories. All of the people you hang around BGS, even if it's not you in particular, and I don't know because I haven't listened enough of your freaking videos to know about your personal life, but all these other people that you hang around that are in the manosphere deserve the criticism that I gave. Because when they were young, they wanted Big Booty Brenda. They now chastise Big Booty Brenda for being a nothing female. But it's not like she was the one making all A's in high school either. That's the reason you have all these people with divorces and 2 kids that the woman has, and the woman's on child support because she was never on the pathway to getting a 6-figure job. She was always Big Booty Brenda. So see, as the women are chastising you guys for not being able to make more than $50,000, which is lame, you should be chastising yourself for not going for that nerdy girl back in high school, because all of this anger that you have is based upon those failed relationships that you couldn't generate back in the day. They are. And I'm just trying to help y'all see that you cannot point the finger at these black women when you have been so intricately involved with them, your personal lives as examples. I wasn't talking about BGS when I made that video about Classic Man. You see, it's the egotism of this older, not elder, that made him want to take up the mantle. I am the person who is most worthy to uphold this banner. This Classic Man title that we got from a rap song. It's a good song. Jiden is cool. I don't think he'd be fucking with y'all though. I wasn't talking about you. I hadn't even heard of your channel. It came around because of the solo TV thing. And so what I'll say is that just because you've been able to make a fair to middling life for yourself and you're now sitting back and basically watching everybody else stumble around doesn't make you a master teacher of anything. You see, in order to teach something, you have to have excelled in that thing. You're trying to teach life in general, which means you have to excel at life, which means you cannot hover around the median income range expecting to teach anyone anything. Because like I said in my video, most of the people who are in that income range have just found a nice little corner of some white man's office to play in. He doesn't own his desk, his chair, his cubicle, or his life. He hasn't seen a sunset or a sunrise in years. He has to ask for vacation time, extended lunch. That's no kind of life. And if you had any sense, you'd recognize this. Recognize that you're next after Big Booty Brenda's. I agree with you that all the jobs are going away. After the retail jobs get plushed up by automation, what's gonna be next? $50,000 educated lane paper pushers. You need to be telling black men about how to make their own businesses. All you young cats trying to look up to this guy as a master teacher because you've got no one else. I don't want to say look to me because I don't want that responsibility yet. I'm not in my 50s. And I'm not arrogant enough to think that I could lead people out of the doldrums of where you are. Unlike BGS IBMOR, I don't consider that good enough of a performance to say that I'm a leader. Relinquish this throne that these naive younger individuals have hoisted upon you. I would say that you need to read less and apply more. Then you might be able to go toe to toe with me. For you MGTOWs, IBMORs, blah, 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 who feel like blaming everything on women. At least, if you're gonna do that, get yourself a master teacher who's been through some things and doesn't just put up a picture of famous authors. Put up videos of other people's descriptions of Bitcoin and talk shit behind a bunch of books. I want you to take note of the time between the upload of this video and the BGS IBMOR video last response to Mind of Marcus. You'll note that it wasn't that much time between his video and mine. And that's because I don't need that much time to think about my response. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting here on 32 minutes, 29 seconds of this idiot's video. And I'm not even done with it yet. I watched the majority of it. And I'm putting a response down. This is all off the top of the head here. I don't even need to study to refute this idiot. First of all, you fucking moron. There is no way I'm gonna get on a hangout and sit on my ass for 8 goddamn hours discussing this shit with you. Because you don't know anything about it. Bitcoin, you admitted you don't know shit about it. You're sitting there talking about how you wanted to start mining Bitcoins because you just built a new computer. I guess you want props for that. You sit here talking about how you don't call yourself a master teacher, you don't do this and that and that. All I see is a trend of a person who likes to think about stuff as that's exactly what I was getting at in my last video. You love to theorize. The best advice that I can give for dating big booty Brendas is not to do it. You see, the reason that you have all of this information on low quality women and how to handle them is because you kept making the same mistake over and over and over again. That's probably what forced you to become this big sinker who was afraid to do anything in the real world. I have no problem telling you all about the relationships I've had. I'm not married yet. I don't have any kids. Want to know why? Because the majority of women in the world, I do not want to have children with. I haven't met the woman that I want to have children with. The only advice I can tell you about relationships is how to succeed in them. Because I done never dealt with the problems of big booty Brendas. I can tell you that I haven't dealt with a woman trying to set me up for $100 dinner. I just don't deal with them. I cut them off at the pass. You see, again, just like Bitcoin, you've got hindsight and I've got foresight. I can see big booty Brenda coming a mile away and I don't engage her. Apparently you did. Over and over and over again. It's highly likely that you have dated more women than me. Because you're old as dirt. But even if you were the same age, you probably would have dated more women than me. I'm more selective. You experienced mistake after mistake after mistake. What you have is not wisdom. It is a stop sign. All you can do is tell people to be careful, to watch out for the pitfalls, because you feel everyone is like you and can't see them. I guess the difference between us is I don't teach the remedial class. I tend to think that people have common sense, and if they see certain things, they will avoid them, so I don't have to talk about that. I don't have to talk about guys avoiding rot gut females who will try to string you up for a $150 dinner or take you to child support court. The best you can tell someone to do is build a computer and don't do anything, and then 7 years later, after the opportunity is passed, hilarious. Your children, if you taught them this way, are at a great disadvantage in this world because they will not have the heart to match any brains that you've given them. My critique of you remains the same. You can respond or not, I don't care, because you didn't address it. All you did was uphold what I told about you to begin with. Everyone who follows BGS IBMOR and thinks that he's so wonderful because you made it to your mid-50s and didn't get shot, beat up, put in jail, and you think that the normal function of a man having children somehow makes you better. You are mediocre, sir. And no one should follow anything that you say until you can actually prove that you have applied the knowledge that you set forth. Not in a mediocre way, as in keeping some girl from skirting you for $150, or looking back at an investment that you could have made 10 years ago and saying, I could have done that and this is how. Or, I saw that pitfall coming from a mile away, I avoided it, and here is what happened in my life because of that. You dingleberry.